Hey, I'll come to you from the Manitoba Woodyard, October 18th. Getting to feel like fall out here, I'll tell you that much. Feels like it could snow today. It's not supposed to. Now the temperature says 52, feels like 46. And it with the wind, it's pretty darn cold today. So we're just out splitting a little birch to show you a few rounds on the 3490. Thought I'd just do a little bit of a fall update here in the Manitoba Woodyard. Hang on, y'all. So like I said, here we are in the Manitoba Woodyard, getting a little bit of birch. Now it was sunny earlier. You can see there's a little bit of blue sky around. It is cool and windy. Got this birch sitting in the sun, in the wind. Should be good enough to sell. I got some birch I'm going to sell that people are going to hold on to the spring. This is going to be ideal for that. It's not going to quite all be dry enough to burn this winter, but certainly most of it will be. Plus it'll be dry enough in the spring for sure. Working over here, just got the start of some new bins going. I actually think I'm gonna, because these aren't very far along, as you can see, I just got a little bit of oak split here, but I'm gonna pull these bins up. I'm gonna put some railway ties in there, which I think is a better way to do it than just double stacking the pallets. So you got oak sitting here, maybe 3 cords waiting to be split. These bins over here are our first bin. We had this full of ash this summer. It worked really good to kind of keeps things up off the ground a little bit better. So I think that's a winning design, and that's the way we're going to do most of our stuff moving forward. So like I said, we got some oak here, a little bit of it split. We got our big mountain oak and ash. We likely will not get to this, maybe a little bit this fall if the snow stays away, but most of it's probably going to be for next spring. The ash will all be dry almost as soon as it's split. There's probably about 50 cords of oak and 40 of ash if I had to. That's full cords if I had to guess. So there's quite a bit of really good wood there, and we'll sell all the ash next year, I'm sure, and then the oak will go probably some next year and some the year after that, which is fine. A little bit of birch we've been splitting today. Birch that should be dry, ready to deliver right away. 1-ton diesel here. Added a back rack, safety rack or headache rack to it this past week after I threw a piece, not through the window, but it tumbled and rolled and bounced off something else and chipped the back glass, had to get it replaced. So that was enough of that. I knew I should be careful, and I was being careful, but not careful enough, and now it won't happen again. About probably was about 17 cords of birch on this load that came late this summer, and we've been working our way through that. Like, we had a time where we were between splitters. As you may remember, we got the 3490 in to replace the 2265, so we had some time to cut stuff up. We got a lot done. So this would take us, if we were just working on this, there's probably about 12 cords left here. We should cut and split that probably in a week, I guess, maybe a little bit less than that depending on what else is going on. Got a big stack of birch rounds that we're just working through today, the next little bit. Got a couple of cords of birch here that are ready to go off to a friend of mine who he and his buddies are buying a total of 2 cords to burn over the winter. A little bit of ash sitting there, about, wouldn't be a cord there, but half a cord or a little bit more. Got a guy who's already spoken for that. A little bit more ash to split. And we got Weston the helper here today on a Saturday. It's like every boy's dream to spend Saturday splitting wood with Dad. He's bringing me logs for the 3490 that we see here. Now I don't even know, I'm, a dozen or 15 full cords into the split fire hatter for, man, I don't even know, maybe 6 weeks or whatever now, a month. And it's been working extremely well. I get better with it every single day. I'm pretty fast with it now. My guess is if I had Weston helping me and we started at 8 in the morning and split till 6 o'clock at night, 10-hour day, an hour off for lunch, I bet you we'd split 4 cords in a day with it. So that's pretty good output. If you got some help, if I'm by myself, it'd be a little bit slower than that, but it is a very good and fast machine. So been happy with it so far. I'm going to start her up now, show you the split fire in action. another kind of typical day for us here in the Manitoba Woodyard. We're splitting into the back of the truck. I'm going to take that back into town with me, throw it on the patio where it's going to get lots of wind, some sun, dry out quick. It's actually probably dry enough to sell, but I want to make sure people get what they're going to be happy with. So we have a fair amount split. We got lots of orders we got to fill yet this fall. The fall season up here in Manitoba is absolutely crazy. It was a busy summer, but the fall, once the weather starts to turn a little bit cool, people just go really crazy. They get kind of done with their summer plans and they start to think about having a nice fire in their basement, or a handful of people that get a hold of us do heat their house with wood. Mostly it's just comfort fires, sometimes in the basement, sometimes in the backyard, but either way, I'm sold out for the year. All this wood is already sold. I probably have a little bit that's not quite spoken for. It'll go really fast into the winter if we can get it all worked through. So it's really fun to be out here in the fresh air, and not today, but usually sunshine and getting some physical labor in. So it's a great thing to be able to do. It's incredibly busy. We probably increased. We went from maybe 10 cords our first year. I bet you will sell. I sort of thought this year it'd be 50. All of a sudden it's 75. Now I'm thinking it's 80. Who knows? Who knows? Just the right things go right. It could be 100. I don't think we'll get there, but we'll be 150 plus next year. So the business has been growing, lots of fun. Thinking a lot lately about how much to invest. I think we could probably get a better, not a better, but a higher volume splitter might help a bit. I don't think we're quite at the stage of being able to justify a processor yet, but maybe in a few years. Anyway, thanks y'all for watching, and have a good day. We'll see you in a couple of weeks or so here in the Manitoba Woodyard. Bye for now.